Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a problem I think we all know too well: focus. We're going to explore the science of how you can build it, not by trying harder, but by building a smarter, automated system.
You know that feeling, right? You sit down, you have every intention of being productive, you want to get that thing done, but your brain just says, nope. And next thing you know, you're scrolling on your phone or suddenly tidying a drawer that hasn't been opened in years.
Well, believe it or not, that frustrating feeling actually has a name. It's called motivational interference. And just knowing that can be a relief, right? It means it's not some personal failing. It's a real, recognized phenomenon where your desire to do one thing gets hijacked by other impulses. It's a battle happening in your brain, and today we're going to learn how to rig it in your favor.
So, how do we win that battle? Well, we're going to change the strategy completely. We're going to stop relying on willpower, which, let's be honest, is flaky at best, and we're going to turn to something way more powerful: automatic habits. It's time to put your focus on autopilot.
This quote just nails it. Imagine that. Imagine having a work routine that feels as automatic as brushing your teeth. You don't have to hype yourself up or use some special willpower. A switch just flips, and you're doing it. No internal debate, no procrastination, just action. That's the goal. And here's why this is such a game changer. Look at the difference. Willpower is like a battery. It drains with use. It completely fails you when you're stressed or tired. But habits, they actually get stronger the more you use them. They are your consistent, reliable autopilot that kicks in exactly when you need it most.
Okay, so how do we actually build these autopilot habits? Well, the source material lays out a fantastic, clear blueprint for us. It's a simple but really powerful 5-step model to build concentration.
So here's the system in a nutshell. We're going to start by getting really specific. Then we'll track our progress, understand why this whole thing works, use our willpower in a much smarter way, and finally learn to balance our brain's two systems. Let's break each of these down.
All right, step 1 is all about getting crystal clear. Vague goals like, I'm going to study more, are basically doomed from the start. Your brain has no idea what to do with that. So instead, you need to define the what. I will read 5 pages of this book. Define the when, right after I finish my morning coffee. And give yourself a clear endpoint. I'll set a timer for 10 minutes. See? There's no guesswork. You've given your brain a precise command. Step 2 is where we forge the habit into our brain. Every single time you do the task, you have to track it. Put a check mark on a calendar, use an app, whatever works. That little act of saying done gives you a hit of dopamine and reinforces the loop. And the absolute key here is the trigger. The what you do can change. One day it's 5 pages, the next it's writing 1 paragraph, but the when and where, like sitting at your desk after coffee, has to stay the same. That's the glue that makes it automatic.
So why is this method so darn effective? Step 3 explains the secret sauce. Habits save an incredible amount of mental energy. Think about it. When an action is automatic, you completely skip that whole exhausting debate in your head about, should I do it now or maybe later? All that energy you just saved can go directly into the work itself. Step 4 totally flips how we think about willpower. Stop wasting it trying to force yourself to work every single day. That's a losing battle. Instead, use your limited willpower for one thing and one thing only: to build the system. It's like using scaffolding to put up a building. You put in the effort up front to build the structure. Then once the habit is built, you take the scaffolding away, and it stands all on its own. And finally, step 5. This is about becoming the master of your own mind. Think of it like this. Your brain has 2 pilots. You've got the automatic pilot, your habits, that can handle all the routine stuff. And then you have the conscious pilot, your goals and intentions. The real key to success is letting the autopilot fly the plane while your conscious mind sits in the captain's chair, ready to navigate, make adjustments, and upgrade the system when it needs to. Now, this whole system works so well because it's literally based on how our brains are wired. So let's just peek under the hood for a second and look at the science of why your brain actually loves being on autopilot. Just look at this number. This comes from groundbreaking research by psychologist Wendy Wood. A staggering 43% of what you do every single day is not a conscious choice. It's a habit. Let that sink in. Nearly half of your life is already running on autopilot. The only question is, are you going to let that happen by accident?
Or are you going to design it on purpose?
And here is the ultimate payoff. This chart from Wood's research shows what happens when people are stressed or tired. The group relying on willpower, their performance tanks. No surprise there. But the group running on habits, their performance stays high. This is the big aha moment. When you feel at your worst, your habits perform at their best. That is a life-changing advantage.
Okay, so we've seen the 5-step model, we've looked at the science behind it, now it's time to make this real. Let's talk about the very first step you can take right now to start building your own system.
So, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The goal is not to somehow magically get more willpower. The goal is to build a system that's so good you barely need willpower at all. Stop trying to force yourself to focus and start designing a system for focus.
And that brings us to my final question for you. This is where it all begins. Forget about motivation, forget about willpower. Just answer this one simple question. What is one small, specific 10-minute habit you're going to start building today?